In this dream, the telephone is ringing. I know that answering it is the only way to stop something tragic from happening. And yet, I can never reach the phone. I'm always too late.
There we go. Can you hear me now? I'm pretty sure I probably turned off my mic. It's not that late yet, but I guess I have been at this for almost 12 hours. So everybody totally just missed my explanation about what we're doing. I'll finish this one first so you don't have to keep listening to the phones, maybe? Yep. Oh god, I forgot there was one of those. I love the buffs we get during this, too. Yeah, that's true. And the next dream of the good stuff. Well, I'd wanted to at least explain the basics, that this connects to the park a little bit, so, you know, if you don't want spoilers for that, this is a bad stream to be watching. That it involves that our faction handlers have heard that a bee has managed to commit suicide. A bee is what we are. We, in theory, should be very hard to kill. In theory, we should not be able to commit suicide. See, I'm on push to talk. This is entertaining, trying to walk in a straight line and talk at the same time. There. That helps when my camera's cooperating. So we're investigating to find out how this person managed to kill themselves, and we found passages that she's written in a dream journal, because the key to what she did seems to have come from her dreams. I believe the going theory on the forum is that we are not literally experiencing her dreams, but we are experiencing our own brain's interpretation of the dreams. So she may have been chasing a phone in a slightly different building or a different place, but it's the same feeling of not being able to catch up to what you need to do. I love the fragment of silence in this room, since it really does, the silence part is pretty apparent. And we have the next page. I feel like I'm playing Myst all of a sudden. We have the next page. Awake now, clinging sweaty sheets. Madness was a phone that wouldn't stop ringing. An asylum catches fire. Everyone freaks out. Everyone except the paranoid delusionals. Normally they twitch and scream, but in the face of disaster, they're cool as cucumbers. They lead everyone, staff and patients, out of the building in an orderly manner. They have a plan. They always knew this was going to happen. My mental state is a matter of expunged public record. If what the doctors wrote is true, if I did what they said, then I was well equipped to find the second dream. We all fear madness. If you were insane, how would you know? I'm ready for the next dream. September 12th, 2000, the third dream is waiting for me in another room in Tokyo in Kaidan. Now, we talked a little bit about this, one of the shows I was able to make it to for Beyond the Veil, that some players aren't a big fan of all of the loading scenes that you need to do to complete this. I think it's less apparent your first time through when you're still trying to figure things out and you're following the clues. There's other missions in this game, usually investigation missions, that the loading time is a little more apparent when you rerun it because you already know where you're going. Happy bees. I have a dog here that really, really wants me to play with him. Let's see if I can get a camera here. Puppy stream. Oh, did I say your name, Loki? Yeah. We're being dorks on a live stream right now. Yes, we are. We're being super dorky on a live stream. The entire internet can see. And he's, oh, you are still interested. Okay. I can stop with the doggy stream. Yeah, doggy cam. My poor doggy trying to figure out why I've been sitting on my butt watching the computer all day when I could be playing with him. Oh, you set that so nicely right on the chair arm. That's lovely. Cannot resist the doggy cam. Okay, I suppose I could, like, run the mission now. You know, that's a good point, Galactrix. I totally forget that I even own the Fabricator when I run this one. I really could use it instead of running. Well, this way the stream gets to see the glorious, filthy portal to Tokyo. Yeah, I am gonna animal warp. But I gotta say I have to say hi to Ricky first. Yes, the 11 hours is showing. Plus, to be fair, I probably got 7 hours of sleep last night, but the night before I only got maybe 4 or 5. Wednesdays are my really long days where I work both jobs. And then, no, yeah, Wednesdays are the long day with both jobs. Thursday I usually work in the evening, and then Friday I usually need to be up in the morning. So, yes, hi Loki. So, yeah, if I'm a little loopy a little early, I really can't blame myself. I'm not putting the doggy cam on again, but you guys can't see this, but the dog is literally picking up his toy and just plopping it right on top of my hand or right in my lap, whichever one he can reach. Okay. He's shoving his toy into my side. I have such a charming dog. Every time I come in here, I love the music. I love the atmosphere out here. And it's funny because I really wasn't sure I was going to like this area. I don't usually like urban areas in games. I prefer something more like, say, the Shadowy Forest. That's just generally my preference. But they've done such an amazing job with the music and the artwork and the atmosphere. It really grew on me, and it's probably one of my favorite areas in the game at this point.
Stay with us again.
Now I have to remember what level the room I want is on. I think it's the next one up. I could always show off the other rooms here, though. If anybody hasn't seen the Dream Palace in Tokyo yet. And there we have this dream. I love it because I'm sure I'm not the only one. The first time I landed in this dream, I kind of did this, and I'm like, did they really? Not quite. Almost. Which I like what they did here. I think it works.
In this dream, I am vulnerable. All the eyes of the world are upon me, and they judge me and find me wanting. My clothes, my gear, everything is treachery. I am alone.
And I love that it's actually named Your Pants. I like the faceless people too. I think that's a really nice touch. Every time I play through this game, though, all I can think is not only am I going commando, apparently I don't wear a bra either in this game. Or maybe it's just in the dream. November 27th, 2000. Awake. Where am I? I'm in the dream palace. Caden. I dreamed of being naked. Being naked means you lose all your defenses. All of your constructs are gone. You're left without a shred of who you like to think you are, and have no choice but to stare at who you actually are. No one likes what they see. It took denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance before I lost all my layers. That's when I knew. And once you're exposed that deeply, no matter how many layers you throw on after, you'll never be warm again. February 9th, 2002. My sources tell me the next dream is in a place I don't want to go back to. Back to New England, where sleep overlooks a savage coast. I guess the other thing with the loading screens here is I remember having to play missions like this without being able to whoa, and the game just crashed. Without being able to anima while jump, and that took a lot longer. You could die and do it, of course, but okay, I'm gonna get this running again. That's always fun. Oh, that would help if I moved my microphone back down too. Oh, nice. Well, it dropped me off where I was where I was trying to go at least. There, I wasn't sure if we were still in the social window or not. It is super easy to forget that you have to refresh that every couple of hours. Sweet. keep forgetting I got that bike. That is pretty awesome. This was probably the first location where I really, and again, this is going to be spoilers for the park, where I really started feeling for Lorraine in this story as opposed to just in the park. Because to want to sleep here, that takes something. That takes a whole lot of. That sounds so morbid, but really wanting to meet her goal. This area is the one that most obviously
In this
ties into the
dream,
park.
I fight. I fight the demons of the past. I fight against myself. That's the thing about it, though. Even when you win, you lose.
Hey, Mops. You came in at a quiet time. My co-streamer is playing a different game, so I'm just running some solo TSW right now. I'm running this year's Halloween mission. The short version of the rest of the mission, Mops. Oh, I'm sorry you still can't play it. The short version of the Halloween mission is our faction handlers have let us know that one of the bees, one of our people that in theory are very hard to kill, has seemingly I hate saying successfully, but successfully managed to kill herself. We were sent to investigate how that could even happen. We found out she's been doing something in her dreams, so now we're reading the dream journals and dreaming our own versions to see what happened. And if you play through the park first, you come to see, and that's going to be a spoiler again. You really have all of the feels. Well, we'll just do that. And I am rocking my IMTSW shirt. Rocking my shirt and forgetting which direction I'm going, you know, because that's always fun. It's fascinating lore, and the atmosphere is amazing. It's really hard to convey. It's really hard to convey on the stream, even running by myself, even without a bunch of people talking at once, because a lot of the atmosphere is so much better if it's just you in the game and the sound effects. Yes, also not Cthulhu. In hyphenated there, not Cthulhu. one is an insta-death unless I can get to a good location. Oh, I did, Kaz? Oh, awesome! Thank you for the donation. We're what? We're like 15. Oh, always dark doubling for me too? Oh, that is wonderful. That is awesome. And that, in case everybody doesn't know, means that Janet is going to sometime tonight set up a poll over on her stream, and we are going. Well, I think she was serious that she wants to do it. We're gonna decide. I'm gonna dye streaks in my hair. Annie Otter, that's awesome. That is fabulous. I see now, now I can't even talk because that's really awesome. Oh, yes, the goal promise. I had promised, I don't think I can get away with dyeing all of my hair funny colors at work, but I'm pretty sure both of my jobs would be all right if I just did like streaks at the front. So we're gonna vote on what color. I'm either gonna do Lumi Blue, Templar Red, or Dragon Green, or at least the closest I can get. So we'll have to figure out how to vote on that because I also the one problem with voting on the stream is I feel like then people who maybe already were here and then left won't get a chance. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, and it is happening. That is awesome. I'm hoping for Lumi Blue. I am very much hoping. You know what I should have done? I should have done like I should have picked a higher goal and then offered to dye it pink. See how much see how much Sariti would throw in for that. Now that is super awesome. Oh, my phone must have went. Oh, and I'm gonna drop my phone. I've got my phone set up for the text alerts. I must not have heard it vibrating that time. Nice. Apologies to the stream. I'm futzing around on Twitter and stuff now. I'll be right back. I won't name names, but I'm getting an awful lot of Templar Red donations. Oh, you guys are terrible. No, I do not want to use the ominous door. I do not want to wander into hell by myself in the middle of a completely separate mission. I am kind of curious if any new players have done that by accident, though. Decided to see what's through that ominous door. Yeah, it's hell. Spoilers. Okay, August 5th, 2002. Awake. I hate clowns. I hate mascots. I hate that place. Ready to get the fuck out of here. I was in the theme park. The chipmunk was there. I don't want to remember that. Whoever thought that inflicting clowns on children was a good thing? Probably some ancient tribe did it as a ritual passage into adulthood. Some painted-faced whore would leap out at the young adults. Anyone who didn't scream didn't get stoned. And then the ritual stuck. Just add birthday cakes and Kool-Aid. Getting close. Have momentum. I just know I'll have the next dream soon. And then March 2006, the next dream is in the shadow of the Blue Mountain, in a place with many cats. One of my favorite NPCs in the game lives at the next location. We'll just do it this way. Yeah, over here is when one of one of our Chads went and found me again out of nowhere. We had a little bit of Chad the Chipmunk stalking of Griff earlier. I know, right, Mops? It's so hard not to tear holes in reality, though. I mean, how else do you know what's behind it? Where do I want to go? I want to go this one. Let's see if I can even do this on a bike without getting hung up on something. That was not the direction I wanted to go. Oh, kitty, I forgot about that. That is one of the other Halloween remnants in the secret world from past Halloweens. Sometimes in Blue Mountain, if you kill an enemy, well, I guess it's a werecat, werewolf, werecat, whatever you want to call it, will spawn. And they drop little sacks of goodies. What did I get? I got money out of that one, but sometimes you get sugar skulls, sometimes you get different glamours and cool stuff like that. I'm not too far off course. I'm really good at getting turned around in cob forests. Oh, oh, it was starting to chase me around the house. Little bugger. Nanny kitties. And I'm gonna stop. Oh, it helps if I run to the right room. I'm gonna stop and talk to her a little bit just because I absolutely love this character so much.
I'm sure my reputation precedes me. though only the trick-or-treaters make it past the private property sign these days. Ever since that Killian woman got run out of town, I've been the honorary island witch. A foul-tempered old widow who shut herself up in a haunted house for decades. I've always trusted my cats as better judges of character, but maybe they got me on the temper. Old? Now that I'll argue. These are Saks Fifth Avenue. But there's that temper again. My friends always told me to come back to Long Island or to Manhattan. They still do every now and again. I was a city girl once, but I'd grown to dig this weird little rock. I couldn't leave it. I couldn't leave it. And I'd be afraid to see what had happened to the city since. You ever think time goes so slowly, but then you look outside and it's been rushing past like out the window of an airplane? This house, well, you knew just to look at it that it was haunted, didn't you? A few coats of paint away from its best days, just like its owner. But it was never beautiful, unlike its owner. I used to blame the Indians. Used to think they put their evil eye on the place to take our lives. And it did take our lives. Just dead quickly, and on its own sweet time with me. DeVore was the name of the man who built it. The Blue Ridge Mine as well. The story goes the Indians cursed him for his troubles, whatever he did or didn't do to rile him up, and he lost everything. He ended up dangling for the murder of his child bride. As I was saying, I used to blame the Indians too. I called them vengeful folk who never forgave some grievance a generation old. When you look for a grudge, you find one. Oh, they were caught up in things, all right. But this house was just built bad.
It's probably a cutscene where she says some of my favorite lines. She compares the ghosts in the house to the cats, and I like this character. She's fabulous.
Well, hello there.
This one took me forever to find. I ran all over this house looking for a bed. I went up to the attic. I went in all the rooms. I was sure there must be a bed. Yeah, no, it's the couch. Mops, usually the references you give are things I should know, but that one I can't place. I have also been streaming for just 5 minutes shy of 12 hours, though, so there is that. Oh yeah, this one.
In this dream, I flee. There is only one place to run. Always from the past. Always into the future. My life in flight.
And that is a game mechanic that slows me down when I try to go through and around the people. See, I was trying to get the buff for you. Now watch me die because I was trying to get my pointer on the buff so you could see it. Yeah, the guy with the sword behind us, if he catches you, you're dead. You need to start the dream over. And I hate those marbles. I have tried jumping over them a few times, but I haven't managed it. That one took me a few tries. Once again, when you know the path, it's not so bad, but the first time. And I love that mechanic. You're slowed down and there's people in your way. And it's really kind of I I don't really have claustrophobia issues, but it feels very claustrophobic. That's the one time that I get a little claustrophobic-y is like if I'm at a store and it's packed with people and everyone's in my way and I just mm. They use that in another place in this game too. That's also very effective. May 2006. Awake. Cozy sofa, cat hair all over me. They kept waking me up. I think they knew what I was up to. Something was after me. Everything is a circle. Run fast enough and you'll find the thing chasing you is you. Then the uncaring cosmos laughs at its own gaudy plot twists. Rod Serling narrates your life, getting off on his own voice while licking up your tears. That feeling of something behind, of something watching, those people laughing, were they talking about you? This is working. They said it was impossible, but if they could put the bee in me artificially, I can take it out. The next, spring 2010. The next dream spot is in the scorched deserts of Egypt. I hear they're building a hotel there. I hear it's prime gold country. Why would you build a hotel there? And that's the other part of this mission for the non-TSW players here. The bee powers we have, they are a gift from Gaia. We didn't ask for them, we didn't want them, we didn't even know what they were. It was something that was granted to us. The secret worlder that we're tracing the trail of, not one of our factions, but one of the other factions in the game. So one of the non-player character factions found a way to put a bee into her to give her those powers artificially, even though she was never meant to have them. So that's the other piece of wrongness going on in the story. Missions like this are so much better being able to anima wall jump without having to kill yourself to do it. I always run the wrong way. Here in Savage Coast, I always run the wrong way to get to Agartha the first time. I am remiss at my duties. I have not been changing my outfits when I go to different areas. I should rectify that in Egypt. Yeah, pretty much, Mops. For lack of a better term, they played God with some. Oh my God, the game crashed. Well, that's bad luck. Anyway, yes, they messed around with something that they don't even understand, not even a little bit. We as the player characters don't even understand it. So I'm going to put the otters back up and log back into the game. It's not usually this crashy. But this is apparently the night for it. And one of the other interesting things, Mops, is the faction that did this to her. They're a faction that up until now we've been led to believe, if anybody is kind of the good guys in this game, we've been led to believe that they are kind of the good guys. The game really operates in shades of gray. The Illuminati, the Templars, the Dragon, each one of them, thinks they're the good guy. But looking in from the outside, you can see where they're really not. The Loomies always go after the most advantageous thing. They're very much like a corporation. And they're looking to come out on top. They're looking for the money. They're all of that. The Templars like to say that they're working towards the greater good and everything, but fairly early on in the game, somebody mentions to you that they're the kind of faction that would burn down a village to take out one demon and not care about the innocent people who died on the way. Just not even care, because they killed that one demon. And then the dragon are the agents of chaos, and they're just, yeah, they do their own weirdness. What are they called? Well, if you don't mind that spoilers it's the Council of Venice that put the B in her. There's also they did some things in Tokyo too, where another faction, the Phoenicians, that are generally portrayed as the bad guys. You run into a character who has had a completely different experience with them, and really a lot of that last stuff in Tokyo gives you a different view of the Irachi too, really. I'm usually the same way with spoilers mops, in part because there's usually a good chance that I'll forget about it by the time I actually play whatever it is anyway. Okay, where are we going? We are going to Egypt. Janet's chat is currently screaming about sugar and caffeine. It's, well, we're about halfway through. It's about that time. See, I was planning when I bought 3 freaking grocery bags full of Halloween candy at work. I was planning. Yeah. This is the one that they're really... I might as well not even jump. Egypt is another zone that I wouldn't have expected to be impressed with, but it really is impressive, especially at night. Sometimes the moonlight on the sand is really, really gorgeous. No, I didn't get candy corn mobs. Those guys. No, at my my second job, we had a sale on Halloween candy, and then I found out that my employee discount would actually stack with that sale. So I bought like 3 grocery bags worth of Halloween candy. And here we have the ghoul-infested hotel. Eventually something's gonna attack me and knock me off a bike. And yep, they don't let you take it in buildings. As usual, this would be a lot more of an issue if I was running this at Egypt level. Oh, it shouldn't be. Let me see. Nope, it was being weird. So yeah, I'm in Egypt now.
They offered me Gaia, and I took her because I didn't have a choice. But she chips away at us. Can't you feel it? Don't you know what she's taken from you?
Nice. I'm gonna wind up dead. That is how you adult. And you're right, didn't make much sense the first time through. And the game crashed again. This is not my night for the secret world, I guess. If it does it again, I'll take a break from the secret world and I'll run something else for a little bit. Yeah, I guess I'm not so sad that they removed the TARDIS if it was going to be a ginormous legal issue. Yeah, I can't really be sad about them covering their butts. At the risk of turning in my geek card, though, I also have watched very little Doctor Who. That is still on my list of things that I need to do. If it was like a reference to the Dark Tower, maybe, then I would be much more upset that they had to take it out. Well, they do actually have references to the Dark Tower, come to think of it. There we go. That went much better. Funny thing is, the first time I did that room, I didn't even know there were multiple keys. I looked at the door, didn't really pay attention to it, grabbed a key, and the first key I grabbed was the right one. I didn't even realize that finding the right key was a mechanic. Actually, until I think I was watching. I was probably watching the dev stream for it before I realized that there was actually a mechanic there. This is going to sound really weird, but I think the game maybe just doesn't like me clicking on my other monitor while it's loading. I don't know. That may be one of those things that's correlation more than causation. That's a problem if I can't actually read the page. Hmm. Well, I can try zoning out and back in again. Let's try going to Agartha and then coming back. Don't think that liked me crashing mid-mission. Yay, the page is back. I honestly don't want to read this one out loud. I'm not big on yeah. Yeah. Why, yes, I do have the different portals marked in Agartha because, yes, I often do get myself turned around. Yes, Mops, immortality, the worst power ever. This one actually took me a little bit too. There were a couple places that I thought it might be. Yeah, we're gonna lose the bike for this part or I won't be able to maneuver at all. And also, you know, areas like this that I tend to just run past because I've seen them already, but the first time you see this in game, yeah, especially if you're running at higher graphics than apparently I can manage while streaming, it's really something. This is also a nightmare area, which means I really can't be one-shotting things. And I am bad at remembering where I need to go. Did I go the right way or the wrong way? Do not want to get hung up on things. Yeah, there we go. This room also, with the backstory of the park, and with the notes that you've been reading, and knowing that this culminated in her suicide, thinking about choosing to spend a night here, you know? There's a lot of reasons I really, really feel for Lorraine. Oh yeah, this one. This calls back to a particular scene in the story. And I love the buff for this one too. Yeah, once I actually start moving, I'll start bleeding out. This is why I'm showing you things before I move.
In this dream, I am wounded. I cannot be healed. I cannot run from the damage, nor can I find solace from it. My power is gone.
Yeah, it's really easy to bleed out on that one. Oh, no worries, Mops. If you were waiting till I was past the bleeding part, it's done now. I'm reading the next note. Also, Mops, the other way you know I'm adulting is I'm playing video games all day for charity. I'm also doing laundry on my breaks. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that, Mops, or I would have warned you. The part that it calls back to in game isn't as bad. You don't wander around like that at all. It's just a quick little cutscene. And this mission chain starts here in London. So this is where we return to. Very neat little area here. You buy access keys to access any of the rooms. I'll sleep the right way up once.
sent you away. Nothing to see here. I remember telling you that. This was the only dream I really wanted. They offered me Gaia, and I took her because I didn't have a choice. But she chips away at us. Can't you feel it? Don't you know what she's taken from you? You can't feel it, can you? You don't even know. And now you're going to bring me back. I don't want to go. I don't want to be back there. This was the only way.
Yeah, this is one of the missions that kind of makes you feel like a horrible person. There is much back and forth in the forums about whether we accidentally brought her back or not. I know Scriv has implied that we possibly have, but he also really likes giving vague answers that will I don't want to say screw with the players because that sounds mean, but he likes to keep us guessing. How about that? I know I was one of the ones that when I first played through, I interpreted it as we put the bee back together, but it couldn't necessarily revive her. I don't know why the bee would want to go back if it was artificially placed in her in the first place, and she didn't want it in there. The buzzing has shown us that they don't operate on our level, but they can get the gist of it. They got the gist that she wasn't doing okay with the bee in her. So I don't know why the bee would have gone back once it was put back together. I really don't. If she is brought back, then that pulls us into one of those other gray areas where is it our faction's fault because they didn't know what they were sending us to do? Is it the council's fault for doing it in the first place? Is it our fault as a player that we couldn't just leave it alone? Well, not as a player, I mean, but it's our player character. Is it their fault? You know what I mean? And this is one of the few mission turn-ins where Geary really isn't snarky at all. That was one of those one-person Halloween bags. You can get the same items out of it that you can from the bags you buy in the item shop. So that's always nice that you can still get a chance even if you maybe can't or don't want to spend money in with real money.